All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to our quarterly Coffee County EMA Advisory Board meeting. The date is May 28, 2025. It's 5 o'clock, and I'd like to call this meeting to order. Roll call is we have two members absent. Going down the list, before we approve the agenda, I'd like to make some changes to it real quick here. I'd like to go under 1C, let's go 1D, let's go public comments right there. Let's mark out number 2 under new business, just label that E. And then after all the stuff on E, let's go down and make a F and let's do that by set our time and location of our next meeting. And then for G, let's have adjournment. That being said, I entertain a motion to approve this agenda.
Make a motion.
Motion made by Adam Floyd.
I'll second.
Have a second. All in favor of that?
Aye.
Let's have it. All right, on the back of your list, you have the minutes from our last meeting. Read over those carefully. Any questions about them? Bring it up. You can bring it up when
It's
we,
actually the next page over, Steve.
we have our new business. Anything you see that you want to discuss, have questions about, we'll bring that up under new business. If everyone's through, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'd make a motion to approve minutes.
Motion made by Mr. Goldston to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Tyler Hickerson. All in favor of the approval of the minutes? Aye. Ayes have it. All right, moving on down, which will be 1D. It'd be any public comments. We don't have anybody here. I gave you the time under public comments. Anybody have any questions about anything on the minutes? If so, bring it up. None being, we'll move on to E. Under our new business, we'll move to our Bonnaroo update. Adam, you have the floor with the police department. Anything you want to add to it? I know some things you can't add, but anything you want to go over, now's your time.
Nothing really new. It's business as usual for us. The only really change that affects us is the traffic, direction traffic.
Gotcha.
Sheriff's Department's reallocated their assets to be more focused on the venue, so that took away some traffic post that they provided in the past, and the highway patrols reduced some of their numbers as well. So we've taken over those posts that THP's normally done, and we've opened the opportunity for city employees, civilian employees, to work traffic and generate some overtime for some of the city employees that would normally not have that opportunity. So we're actually going to have a training session tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. at City Hall with those employees to kind of give them some direction and just go over items they need to know to prepare for a week of directing traffic in some pretty tough conditions. But other than that, everything else is, pretty normal for Bonnaroo for us.
So y'all have officers inside the gates, just patrolling, is that correct?
Yeah, our department's split in half, and half the department's on the venue, and the other half's handling traffic and normal calls in the city. We have everybody in the department works, no days off, 12-hour shifts.
Gotcha. How about on the left side of, Bushy Branch over there in the county? Is that gonna be the sheriff's department, or y'all gonna be over there too? Or, and all the campings over there still in the county?
Yeah, they're still part of that, Shed Road area is still, considered in the county. One of the big changes they've made on the venue that would affect some traffic is they've moved day parking. Now it's moved on, at Bushy Branch and, right across from Powers Road and Bushy Branch. The field across from the old main gate.
Mm-hmm.
They've leased that property from Alan Howard, and they're gonna move day parking there, which would be, they're expecting to park about 5,000 cars on that piece of property. And that'd change, for us, it'd change the daily ingress and egress, where it would have come in on the other end of the property. Now, that day parking will be coming in off Ragsdale Road and Highway 55 area, so that'd increase the traffic on that side of the property for us, but that's the only major change that's happened out there.
Y'all's, your command center, where is it gonna be located at?
We're gonna put a tent and some fans at Rags on 55, where we used to have the mobile command set up. Our new command's trailer is gonna be located on the venue, just outside of Bonnaroo's command, where EMA's set up.
Gotcha. You guys got any questions for Adam? Anything you wanna know, any information?
Anything that he can answer.
I'll answer it all.
Bill, you got anything? You're a resident out there in the area. You got anything?
I'm just
Any
holding on.
questions? All right, we'll move on to, Coffee County EMS, and he's not here today, so
I can,
brief us on that.
yeah, I can probably do that, and potentially Hillsborough Fire, since our office works with all those agencies to prepare the incident action plan. So, right now, Coffee County EMS is planning on staffing 2 ambulances out there. Most days they may be subbing some of it out to other agencies coming in, but they normally are at, was that Kimberly Lane, is that right? At the old, I think they call it the Cox House, the brick house there at the end. That's their new main medical, so they'll be staffed there at that location. And they're just transport only, off-site. Most everything's handled on-site. So I think last year they ran around 45 or 50 calls throughout the week. So Hillsborough Fire, we worked diligently with Bonnaroo last year. They was way in the back 60 year before, and we worked with Bonnaroo to try to get them into a better location, centrally located, because I felt like it was necessary to put a fire department more centrally located if you had a city, move in. So
Where are they gonna be at?
they're actually going to be behind the main stage. I'm not sure of the exact road, but it's right off of Admin Way. So they're back there fairly close to us, but just a hop, skip, and a jump from going right or left to get anywhere on the property. So
Same place as last year.
yeah.
Are they, how about the staff, and are they fully staffed, or you know where they're at on that now?
I talked to the chief the other day, and he's still working on staffing that up. But he didn't see any problem with staffing. That requires so many people, especially on the nights that they do the pyro stuff. You know, they require somebody to be on stage. I guess that's a Live Nation rule. I'm not sure, but Tyler may be able to speak to that. But anyway, they require so many people to be on stage. I think two, and so they have to staff up on those days that they're doing pyro, which I don't know what nights that'll be yet.
Do you know what equipment they're gonna have out there?
So they'll have an engine, a tanker, a brush truck, and then they'll have side-by-sides with portable water capabilities and a small pump. So,
Are they using they use their own stuff this year, or are they using what Bonnaroo's furnished for them?
as far as I know, they've asked for side-by-sides from Bonnaroo. They're
They use
just,
their trucks and then
the side-by-sides will
four
come from
side-by-sides
Bonnaroo.
from Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
Is rescue squad usually right there with them? Or are they somewhere else?
They have been in the past, but they wasn't last year.
They were off-site last year.
Any more questions on Hillsborough Fire? Hill, you ain't asking any questions. Got anything? Nothing?
No.
Not
Not
so
so far.
I think they've done a really good job out there. I mean, they got
Well-
invited back to do it again this year, which tells me Bonnaroo's pretty pleased with them, right?
Right, right. And it's a good fundraiser for the fire department for sure.
Now, do they do their staffing with outside sources as well?
Yeah, yeah. So they reach out to all of the other departments, the paid departments. Their setup is a little bit different because the way they work is you work, and correct me if I'm wrong, because some of y'all have worked it. They work, if you work one 12-hour shift, you get one band. If you work two 12-hour shifts, you get two bands. But two bands is the maximum. So basically, if you and another person want to go, you work a 24-hour shift. So they don't get paid anything to be there. So, and it's like anything else that's volunteer based. It's band driven. It's whoever's going to be there. So if somebody likes the bands, they want to work. If they don't, it's hard to find folks.
Gotcha. All righty. We'll move on down to Manchester Fire. Tyler's here, Assistant Chief Hickerson's here representing Manchester Fire. Tyler, what's Manchester Fire's plan in
We
this whole
are
scenario?
business as usual. We have personnel that's going to be helping out Manchester PD. And then, of course, if we get called for any mutual aid calls out there, if Hillsborough calls us, then we'll be responding with a truck out there for them.
Adam said earlier, talking about traffic, y'all, can you tell us what's going on with the traffic? Y'all just gonna be placed in certain places, or y'all be together, mixed up, or how you doing that?
Yeah, so Assistant Chief Floyd is set up a list of where he needs personnel at, and we have filled in quite a few of those spaces with some of our fire department personnel and at different times and stuff like that.
Yeah, Manchester Fire is probably they're responsible for about 1,000 hours of traffic control during the week of Bonnaroo. Pretty impressive, and they were a huge. I think last year was the first year that they helped us, and was a huge help. Of course, they've got experience dealing with traffic, just like law enforcement, so they know what they're doing. And big help last year, and a big help this year.
How many individuals, right offhand, how many you got?
Total or from the
From
fire
the fire
department?
department.
I don't even
It
remember
changed
now.
today. We added a couple today. I don't know. I don't know the total from the fire department. It's probably 10 to 15 firemen.
covering multiple shifts though.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them are working more than one shift.
Gotcha. All right. Any more questions for Tyler? If not, we'll go on down to EMA. Go ahead and go over your things you want to do out there, Alan, what you got going, just inform the public what's going on.
Sure. So our job is coordination, first and foremost. So we've been working with all of our local, state, and federal partners for the last few months, and Bonnaroo itself. We've been meeting with them virtually. So we've pulled, we call it an incident action plan. We've pulled that together. It's pretty well complete. There's a couple of components that still need to be added, and they'll be added as the event gets closer. Our command post will be set up, as Adam said, across from where Bonnaroo has their command post. So we found it to be the best location for us and them. We're right across from each other, so we can go in and meet with them at any time. We will be doing 2 tabletop exercises on that Monday before the event opens. Bonnaroo will be doing one of the exercises, and we're putting together the second exercise. And of course, we're keeping that close to the chest so that the players don't know the scenario prior to. But it should be something that everybody's ready for. So,
Do you have us included in that?
yeah,
So I haven't heard anything about it.
in my part, I do. We'll sidebar.
We hadn't sent out
Hadn't sent out a request yet.
Okay.
we just scheduled it.
So other than that, I mean, you know, our role at Bonnaroo is just to monitor weather, monitor other things. You know, in the past we've had issues with 911 calls. Our 911 center will be there. I think this is the 3rd year. Is that right, Adam? Yeah. That we've actually had on-site dispatchers for our personnel, and it's worked out really good. I think they've named some roads, and they've put some addresses to some things out there now. They're permanent structures, so that's going to help as landmarks for patrol and fire. We'll be monitoring, like I said, the weather and other things. The 911 calls a couple of years ago, we had, I think there was around 700 or 800 one day, and it was because everybody had their crash detection on their iPhones, and every time the little trolley things would move and jerk, it would set it off, and it would automatically call 911 like you'd had a wreck. So we had to do a mass notification on that. So hopefully they've got that issue fixed now.
Do we have any numbers on the estimated crowd size and ticket sales? Do we know anything about that?
As far as I know, they're still selling tickets. I haven't heard. Huh?
High 80s is the last I heard.
High 80s.
Very good ticket sales.
Yeah.
I think the lineup's pretty good out there, it seems like this year. So.
High 80s is
Well,
last.
I think they found their niche. That the lineup is definitely bringing the folks in.
And Alan touched on something, the 911, the mapping, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
It's all mapped out. Of course, everybody here's been out there. It looks like a city. And so they're mapping it out and putting some landmarks, and will help first responders if they have to go out there and they've never been there before. They will be able to find their way.
Right.
It's active right now on Active 911.
Yeah.
It pulls up a marker, you click on it and click on that, and then you can pull up a PDF of the actual event map.
good deal.
Alan, anything else? Any more questions for him?
I'm out of the loop just a little bit, but
Sure.
communications,
hmm
is it through our radio system, or does Bonnaroo have their own radio system, or?
So Bonnaroo has their own radio system, and their dispatch is co-located with our dispatch. We're all on the TACAN radio system now. So, and I'm not sure exactly what Bonnaroo's on, but it's very easy to transfer information from one to the other. So, if they have a medical call or something that comes in 911, they can hand it off.
Moving on down, a mitigation update. Alan, gonna go over that, our projects, what you got going on with that?
Yeah, I can touch on that. So we've been working with both cities on mitigation projects. As we have presidential declared declarations, that opens up mitigation funding from the federal government, and it's really good money to take. I hate to say take advantage of, but it's really good money to utilize for things that we wouldn't normally be able to purchase, because the feds pay 75% of a mitigation project. The state pays 12.5%, so all the municipality or the county is out is 12.5%, and that can be in-kind match with work. So Manchester City is working on. We've had issues with Esther Lane and Skinner Flat Road for probably since it's been there. So I talked with Brittany the other day. They're about to finish the application to send in for that project. It's going to be just a renovation project. They're going to raise the road and make sure that the water flows a lot better, so that, because we had, I don't have the figure in front of me, but there was several houses back in that area that were, you basically couldn't get to. That was the only two ways in there to them. So hopefully that project will be completed within the next year. The tornado siren project, I talked with.
I got one thing on that.
Oh,
On
yes.
that Esther Lane deal.
Okay.
May have to get animal control out there, because there was beavers out there building dams and was backing the water up. No, they got rid of a couple of them. I don't know if
Well,
that was part
well,
of the
we can talk. We can talk with Craig or whoever's over animal control. But
Threw that in there. That's free.
yeah, that's not going to help us none at all.
Anything, they'll move them before they start
They had
construction.
built a big dam. It's a pretty
Yeah.
sized dam out there.
Yeah.
All right, go back to your tornado stuff.
Well, you've caught me off guard now. The tornado siren project is something that we've been working on with the city. Manchester City currently has one tornado siren, and I think it still has to be a push button at the police department. So they're looking at upgrading that system and putting multiple sirens in the city. That will be what we call polygon based. They'll be based off the National Weather Service. So if that siren is within the warned area, it will go off automatically. Nobody has to push a button. So that, because I know nobody's at the police department, right?
Did we ever figure out strategically where we was going to put these at so we could cover the populations of the
Well,
city?
I think Manchester has, and Tyler may know more about that than
You know
me.
you know the locations of them spots,
I
Tyler?
don't know the exact locations, but based on the radius of how far it would reach, it pretty much covered the whole city. But I think it was like maybe 7 or 8 that was going up.
Yeah.
A lot of the companies will help you map that out when you get further into it, once you actually order your sirens.
Well, they travel a long way when the one goes off at
Oh, yeah.
Dawson Apartment in Tullahoma. I can hear it at my house like it's next door.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
they travel good.
Yeah, yeah, and those are older sirens that Tullahoma has, and Tullahoma is doing an update to their siren system. They've got 7 or 8. One of them is even out at Montlow College. They worked back in the day and put one at the college, but they're antiquated and they don't make parts for the ones that they have now. So, been working with the city of Tullahoma to get them to do a mitigation grant for a tornado siren update. They've already got the poles and everything. They just need the new sirens, where Manchester is basically starting from scratch. Other than I think we're replacing the one over City Hall. The one thing I do want to point out, and because this question comes up, is tornado warning sirens are made for outdoor warning. With the way homes and things are built nowadays, sometimes you can't hear them if you're a great distance away from them. So they're mainly for outdoor warning, which I'm glad we've got one on City Hall here in Manchester, because it covers all the city park very well. But I just want to make sure that everybody knows that your weather radio, your telephone, all of that is still the best method if you're in the house, especially at night asleep. That's going to wake you up quicker than a siren is, unless you're right underneath it. So I just wanted to clarify that. We are working on. We talked with Manchester, and we talked with the state, and Bonnaroo is private property, so we can't put a siren on private property and using federal dollars, which makes sense. So we talked with the lady that's over mitigation for the state. She suggested portable sirens, so they'll crank up about 40 feet, I believe, in the air, and they'll still be set off by the polygon. They're trailer mounted. So we are working on a mitigation grant for 2 of the trailer mounted portable tornado sirens. And I think that'll be beneficial for Bonnaroo and other events that we have throughout the county.
I mean, where do those people go?
At Bonnaroo?
Yeah.
So that is the $1 million question. I mean, what they tell them is to go to their vehicles. Is what they tell them.
The bathrooms usually get full, the barns get full.
That one bathroom is full.
Yeah.
Concrete block.
All the buildings that are out there, they fill.
Yeah.
Quick. And then everybody else is supposed to go to their cars.
And Bonnaroo does. I mean, they definitely have safety in mind, and they actually have their own meteorologist on site, and he's watching the weather continuously, and they monitor lightning strikes. I think they start monitoring it at about 50 miles out, and then as lightning progresses closer in, they have certain levels that they go to, and they'll shut the shows down and clear the venues and send them to their cars once it gets close enough.
We all know that it's very you could have one out there, because 3 years ago we witnessed a small one go across there, watched it, when it picked all the tents up, and I mean, it was actually a whirlwind, I guess, but it was spiraling.
Yeah. Historical fact, we've had a tornado in every month of the year in Coffee County, even in December.
We shut down, twice last year?
I think that was
Shut
right.
down twice last year for lightning.
Yeah. So, the other project that's on the back burner right now, but because we're focused on the trailer mounted sirens, is Our building is partially on generator power, from the old generator that's down in the basement of the Justice Center. Uh, it was used back in the day to run the jail part. So none of our administrative portion or our operations center, any of that is on generators. So I talked with the lady. She said we do critical infrastructure generators. So that's something that we're going to look at next. We going to devote some time to look at getting a generator to power our office.
Gotcha. Getting back to speaking about tornadoes, I should have invited Neil here. Do they have chainsaws for the trees and storms and stuff? Are they outfitted with all that?
I think they do have chainsaws and things like that. I think they've helped out cutting trees and stuff before.
Gotcha. Well, the highway department has some, then
Oh,
both
yeah.
cities have some with the
Yeah.
street departments, so. All right. Anything else you got?
No, that's pretty well all I've got on those projects.
Any more questions for Alan or Wade? If not, we'll move on to F. We'll set a time, our next meeting. We'll kind of do that quarterly, so we'd probably be looking at probably October.
August.
We'll toss that around, and I'll get with you on a time, and we'll set that for August. Okay. Now, I need a motion to adjourn this meeting.
All motion.
Motion by Tyler Hickerson for adjournment,
I'll second.
seconded by Mr. Rogers. All in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Appreciate everybody being here, and see you next time.